What's going on, everybody? Lucas Chase here, and I want to welcome you guys to the inaugural episode of the Phoenix Project Vidcast. And I have been chomping at the bit, very excited. Without a shadow of a doubt, this has been the most anticipated thing that everybody's been looking forward to. And here we are, episode 1. And I want to bring in right now my awesome, dear, old friend, Manny Sierra. Manny, what is going on, my dude?
What's up, dude?
Nothing much, man. You know, just Your season 1, episode 1.
Popping
You're kicking it. You're popping the cherry, dude.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh, it's so bad. It's gonna be so bad. And as you can see, we got a little bit of a repertoire going on.
Bit of shtick.
A little shtick, a little act. It's a give and take. It's like Regis and Kelly.
Am I Kelly?
Yeah. I got the Regis haircut, so we're good.
That is true.
What do you think about the set, huh? We got the pop culture stuff going on. We got the merch.
It's a little intimidating with Mueller just in the corner there.
Well, it took a long time for us to get it up there.
I was going to say, if it fell, we are screwed.
I think I'll be good.
Yeah, you're worthy.
Yeah, I'm worthy. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very happy to have you on. And, the Phoenix Project Vidcast, I was very adamant about starting off with you, primarily just because we're going to be talking about everything. I wanted to focus on young, up and coming entrepreneurs and talents, right?
Oh my God.
That's what I want to focus on, because we, as the younger generation, we're in the precipice of this time, this shift, right? This paradigm shift where all media is at the tip of our fingers. It can become sort of an oversaturated market.
Oh my God.
And with everything that we do, because what we do is two vastly different things.
Yeah.
Me in the professional wrestling industry, and you in the comedy industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's two vastly different things, but they're all the same stuff. We still have to generate our content. We still have to do our thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I want to just kind of let the people out there know, who's Manny. Growing up. Where we're from. How was that?
Oh, dude, I am born and raised in Bridgeport.
To 203.
203 for life.
Big city of dreams.
Big city of dreams. Bridgeport. Dude, I recently saw that whole video again for the first time in
oh my God, I haven't seen it in 10 years.
And if you never heard of Bridgeport, watch that video. You pretty much, that's what it is. But yeah, I lived here my whole life. Actually went to school down the road. Church down the road.
Colby Cathedral, right?
Colby Cathedral.
Class of 08. Oh, wait. Bassick High School. Go Lions. That's right. Kevin Santabria behind the camera. Huge shout out to him. My partner in this venture. He's Bassick as well. That Lion pride.
Oh, you guys were the Lions? We were the Cougars.
Yeah. Oh, Cougars, huh?
Yeah, dude.
How many female teachers did you have?
Most of them.
Living up to the mascot name.
Our mascot was actually just a middle-aged white woman named Leanne.
Leanne.
Yeah, she came wine drunk.
She was hanging out with the girls at brunch.
Girls night.
All right, so you mentioned you're in the comedy industry. You're a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
This is now going to a religious high school. How was that for someone with your personality type? Because as long as we've known each other, we go way back.
Do.
We go back over 10 years at this point.
Yeah.
Knowing how much of a person, how personality driven you are.
Yeah.
Was any of that stifled or hindered or during that time?
It was in development at that time. It wasn't fully, I was really weird in high school.
Okay.
I hadn't come into the whole being funny. I wasn't really the class clown at all.
You weren't the class clown. That's funny to me.
Yeah, I wasn't the class clown.
You're a comedian.
I kind of just chilled and flew under the radar.
Were you one of those emo kids?
I was one of the only kids with long hair in a Catholic school, and they're like, "You gotta cut it," and I was like, "But Jesus had long hair, I can't."
You threw Jesus at them?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Hell yeah! But I don't know. It was that's when I really got into writing, though.
Okay.
That's when I really dove into writing. I had a couple English classes where we had to do creative writing stuff, and I just went in and just wrote.
Now, was it any type of writing, or was it always comedy?
Anything popped in my head.
So just stories overall?
Yeah, dude, I have notebooks in my house just full of random ideas for stories. I'll be at work and I'll think of 4 characters and I have to write them in a note. I don't know what they're going to be used for, but I just have them.
Wow.
Like it's...
And you still have all these.
Yeah.
I want to take a look at those. I got to tell you, because it's funny that you say that, because I was actually like going through my stuff not too long ago, and I found like my first lyric book from when I became a musician in my first band, and like there's just an insurmountable amount of trash in there.
How cringe!
So bad.
Like, you're reading like
I was just like, this guy, like I wanted to punch me in the face, like you know, like because being that teenager, like especially like you know, I'm Puerto Rican. You're Cuban American, right?
Cuban and Puerto Rican,
you know, and we're from the inner city, both of us.
Yeah.
You know, and our perspective area of where we lived, our impressionable years, right? Those high school years, you know, it was different for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, how juggling being like the kind of quiet kid. You're getting your writing done, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to this you're in this religious environment. You're not that way, you know, because you're an open-minded individual, you know, as most teenagers are, for the most part. How transitioning to home, did you have your comedic outlet there?
Yeah. Like, so comedy has always been a big thing in my family. Okay. My dad was like, I want to say when I was like 8, 9, my dad showed me like Raw and Delirious.
Okay.
And like we used to listen to the Jerky Boys.
Nice.
Like, and I remember Andrew Dice Clay was always playing. Like my dad would always play.
Hey, Hickory Dickory Dock.
Exactly. oh. So like, when I would go home, I'd go in my room and I'd be up. I'd go to my room like around 9, 10 o'clock. Like if it was Monday, I'd watch Raw.
Ayo.
And then after Raw, I'd switch to Comedy Central because like around midnight, they start doing Comedy Central Presents. So I'd be up till like 4 a.m. watching stand up.
Okay. At that time, who was your favorite comedian? And if you say Dane Cook, we're gonna shut the camera off.
I think everyone liked Dane Cook in high school.
Absolutely.
That was like in high school, Dane Cook was dude.
I definitely like remember the joke about how when you're cheating on your girlfriend, they change the roads, and then you come into your house and the floorboards are like, cheaters, I always remember that joke.
I remember just quoting like naughty Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. He was like the quintessential like high school comedy.
Yeah, that's just what it was. It was silly. It was just like it was basically fart jokes. Like
that's all it was. So who were your top 5 at that time or now? Even big influences?
Always influences George Lopez.
Okay.
I love Hispanic comics.
Okay.
Freddie Prinze.
Yep.
If you've never seen any of Freddie Prinze's stand-up, go back and watch it. The dude was ahead of his time.
Really?
Like he was so funny.
I have to check that out.
Cheech Marin.
Oh yes.
Paul Rodriguez. Nice. I remember, I think Telemundo used to have like this comedy special late at night.
Yeah, like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it was called like Que Locos. That's what it was called. And I remember that was the first time I saw Gabriel Iglesias.
Really? On Telemundo?
On Telemundo. Wow. It might have been like 11 or 12. And I lost it. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, that's what I want to do. Like since I was a little kid, I was like, I'm either going to be on Saturday Night Live or stand-up comic.
Okay.
One of those two. Like that's the goal.
So SNL. Now those kind of go hand in hand, right? Sketch comedy, especially SNL with stand-up comedians, right?
Yeah.
So,
for the most part.
I mean, before we get to where you're gonna see yourself with comedy in the next few years, how'd you actually break in?
Okay, so I want to say 4 years ago, a friend of mine had a cafe in Shelton.
Okay.
He hits me up. He's like, bro, we're doing an open mic. You should come and perform. I'm like, bro, what am I going to do? Like, I don't sing. I don't play guitar. I don't do anything. He's like, dude, you're funny. Come try doing stand up. I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to start. Like, I don't know how to write a joke. Like, I don't know any of that.
Nerve-wracking.
I can just say stuff and hope it's funny. So I go, and when I walked in, I knew it was a mistake. It was like a open mic. Everyone in the crowd was over the age of like 50. Oof. They were like veterans. They were just old white people from Shelton.
And there's nothing wrong with old white people from Shelton, Connecticut. But it's just the crowd dynamic.
It's not an ideal crowd for a 26-year-old Hispanic comic,
Yeah.
or not even a Hispanic dude doing comedy for the first time. So
I
I'm
can just
sitting in there,
imagine.
and I'm like, oh God, like what did I get myself into? I'm like having panic attacks. I'm like drinking beers, trying to like calm myself down. And I'm like, if I get drunk, maybe it'll be funny. And I'm just like, oh my God. So then I'm noticing there's no other comics on. I'm the only person doing comedy.
Ooh, that's rough. That's got to be even more.
It's all music, but it's not even like different genres of music. It's like outlaw country music.
Hey.
And like they're all there to see one dude play jazz at the end. And
It's an eclectic bunch of people.
yeah, dude, it was so strange. It was so strange. But the guy who was running it, his name was like Wild Bill or something. He was super cool, super encouraging. And he's like, we need you to go on soon. Because I had to put myself like third from last.
Yeah.
Because I figured if people start drinking and I go last, maybe the music is so bad, anything I do is just like a little bit of a relief for them. Like,
Yeah.
So he's like, I got to put you on now. And it was like fifth. And I'm like, why? He's like, they're dying in there. I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do?
Yeah. Liven them up.
So then he's like, I'm going to bring you up. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there and he's like, he bills me at like this hot upstart comic from New York. And then I'm going all over and doing comedy. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? And then I go up there. He's like, you got 10 minutes, kid. And I'm like, oh my God.
Who was this guy?
It's just some
sounds
random
like every
dude.
like
Yeah, shady booker, dude. He's just like, you got 10 minutes, kid. I'm like,
impress me.
yeah. You want to be a star, don't you? Like,
did he have a big fat cigar and a white suit?
no, he had like leather pants.
Sounds like the bad guy from Roger Rabbit.
Dude, he looked like a fortune teller from a truck stop. Like, if that's how I describe it, it's like he had like a leather Kangol on. Like, it was just so strange.
A leather Kangol. Did you debut in 1997?
Might as well,
A
dude.
leather Kangol.
So I
Did
go.
Deep Blue Sea just come out?
Yeah.
Is that like the thing?
LL Cool J was feeling rowdy that day. But like, so I go on. I do the I went for 11 minutes
Okay.
of like
So you already went over your time?
awful. It was just god awful. I have the footage. I'll send it to you.
So
later.
please do. We'll put that as a
so-
link on the
Dude,
channel.
it's so bad. But there are a couple bits in it. If when you watch it,
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh, that's where that joke came from. Because I went back and I rewatched it and I took like little things. I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of funny. And I actually wrote it out and made it an actual joke. So then after that, I didn't do comedy again because I didn't know where else to go. One of the guys at the open mic was like, hey, you're pretty funny. I work at Joker's Wild. Here's my card. Give me a call. Dude, I called him like a week later. Joker's Wild had been shut down.
Really?
They got like raided or something. It was like some crazy thing. They got raided. It was like some mafia thing. I don't know. It was some weird thing. It's like in the news or something.
Yeah.
But they get shut down. And I'm like, what the hell? So then flash forward a year and Stress Factory opens up.
And you started hosting the open mic there.
No. I didn't start hosting. I saw the flyer and I'm like, open mic. I was like, I'm going to do this.
Right.
I was like, I'm doing this. I was like, if I don't do this now, I'll never do it. And I went. I think I only wrote one joke. Everything else I made up. The only joke I wrote was the ATM joke.
Okay.
And that was the first joke I actually sat down and like wrote out. I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny.
Okay.
And like, it went well. And I was like, okay. And then I kept going back. And then I just got hooked. I couldn't stop. And then I started, I want to say, I hit it hard for like a couple months at Stress. And then I found out that there was other spots that I could go.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started traveling.
Right.
I was driving. There was a point like before COVID, I was driving like 2-3 hours to go on stage for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
To drive 3 hours back.
Now,
And if from that, I might get 2 shows. Somebody sees me like, hey, I want to
but
put you
the
on the
booking,
show.
and I understand it because the bookings, like for a guy like in my profession, with wrestling, there's times where I'm driving an hour and a half for 8-minute match, but it leads to other things and it builds,
Exactly.
right? So utilizing the catapult that was Stress Factory. Now, how'd you get involved with the Sea Grape?
Sea Grape. I have a couple friends that I met at Stress that they got together.
Because you got that together. That Sea Grape thing?
No, the only thing I got together was the Bridgeport Creates mic.
Okay.
That was mine. That is My pride, I love that.
Now that's coming back into the fold, no?
That's coming back as soon as all the regulations get lifted. We're gonna hit it back because I can still put on shows there.
Yep.
But it's limited to like 20 people, including the comics. So if I get 6 comics on a show, that's only maybe 12 people that can come in because I'll have somebody at the door checking tickets and what have you. So I'm only going to have a crowd of 12 people.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the comics to not give them enough.
And I mean, at the end of the day, this is a job, right? So it's not profitable to
Exactly.
So you got to think about it that way too. You know, you don't want to put on a subpar product for minimal fans and then make no money.
Exactly.
That's like crossing all the things off the board.
Exactly.
You know.
So it was cool because once Stress Factory came into the fold, Lower Fairfield, like this area, didn't really have a comedy scene. Everything was really up in like New Haven, West Hartford, like all up there, like the Funny Bone, the Elbow Room, all those places. So Stress opening up gave way to a couple guys from Stress, started a comedy group or entertainment company called Unhinged. And they started a open mic at Sea Grape. Then they had a spot in Norwalk at our house. They did that for a while. They were running shows out of there. It was awesome. They were bringing New York comics in. Like we were really building a scene. And then now they're running shows out of Pinstripes in the Sono Mall.
Oh yeah, that's brand new.
Yeah,
that's
so,
brand spanking.
You know, they're running shows. There's actually a contest going on right now.
Very nice.
Which your boy is on.
Yes, he is. Tell us a little bit about that.
January 2nd at Pinstripes at the Sono Collective Mall.
So as you're watching this tomorrow night, okay, as you're watching this tomorrow night, this is a pre-recorded show. And I say that because it's all raw and unfiltered, unedited. We have the single shot camera for a reason. But this will be posted as you're watching it on January 1st. So tomorrow night.
January 2nd. Spoiler alert, I'm winning.
All right, Paul Heyman. Relax.
Yeah. No, I feel really good about this contest.
Good. How many people are in?
There are 6 shows with 10 comics on each show. 2 people from every show get passed into the finals. And then the winner gets a bunch of shows and I think a headlining spot for Stand Up New York when it opens up in New City. Yeah, which is cool because I already won a Broadway comedy club contest back in March before everything shut down.
Yeah.
And I won, I want to say like 5 shows in the city. So once everything's opened up, I'm taking off.
Rock and roll, man. Well, I know your stuff. I've seen you countless times. Some of the stuff, the content there is just so relatable, and some of it's also out there, but it lands, you know. And that's some of the best comedy. Now, how did like writing now, having some years under your belt, right? You get a little adobo seasoning on top of your routine. How does like being Hispanic American, like, and your upbringing influence your content?
Oh, dude, it's cool because like, you know, growing up, like there's just so much weird stuff that our parents did that most other parents don't do.
Absolutely.
Like I have a bunch of white friends and I can almost guarantee that their parents didn't wake them up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday blasting Elvis Crespo because it was time to clean.
Oh my God. Like, no, it was Mark Anthony for us.
Oh, was that for you?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. No, my mother would blast that Mark Anthony.
Did it depend on her mood? Like if you heard La India, did you go, oh, I'm not getting out of bed today?
No.
Like I'm not doing this.
That was more my grandmother's speed. My mom, it was like Mark Anthony, Tito Rojas, like all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Hector Lavoe. Exactly. So like, just those little things, those little nuances of growing up Hispanic are just so funny. Like, the joke I wrote about La Chancleta, like that's
that's
everybody
real.
Knows about
that's
that.
That's real.
It's a universal thing.
That's that right there, baby. Ooh, hold on.
The way you flipped it up, you've done that before.
Oh, I know. I got a kid now too, brother.
Yeah, dude.
I learned the ways of the rotation.
But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you can go into a room full of white people and say La Chancleta and they all know what that means.
Yeah.
You know, it's just these little things. And I really liked watching the Spanish comedians because that was me. Like I got that stuff. Like I like comics like Kevin Hart and Bill Burr and stuff like that, but their jokes aren't for me.
Right.
Like I can relate to those jokes because most of them are like people jokes. But like when you hear George Lopez talk about his grandmother and
John Leguizamo.
Oh my God.
Those stand-ups.
Yeah. Did you watch Latin History?
No, I have not seen that yet.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
So good. But it's just things like that. Like it's so good. I feel like the Spanish culture is so lost in the shuffle of everything.
Right.
And if I can do something to bring that to the forefront, even if it's with my jokes, talking about like my mom hitting me with a chancleta, talking about my Cuban family floating here on a raft, like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
I
do
love
it.
that
like,
joke so
like
much.
I'm gonna do it because it's funny and it's not real, obviously, but
it's hyperbolized. It's it's taking things from the world and the world's view of us.
Like my grandparents had to use a pickup truck. We weren't fancy like Ilion and got a dolphin, like whatever. Like
Ilion Gonzalez. Oh my God,
Cuban American hero.
Google it if you don't know who that is. There's a closet somewhere in California.
If she doesn't know who Ilion Gonzalez is, she's too young for you, bro.
All right, now transitioning because I'm very excited to get in on this. Okay, because you and I, we're always about the new ventures, right? We're always about moving forward. Never stop moving.
Never stop. Cheap plug.
Cheap plug. Shameless.
Wait, hold on. Let me take a sip of this official Never Stop Moving mug.
Nice cup there, styrofoam. I love it.
All Elite Wrestling.
So we're inside. Shut up. We're surrounded by all the pop culture stuff here. You know, and me and you, we love to collect things. We love video games.
Yep.
We love books, and we love anime.
Love it all.
You know where I'm going with this?
I do.
Okay. So anime and graphic novels are something that me and you definitely talk about on the reg.
Yeah.
And you, my friend,
yes,
are currently working on such content.
I am.
So tell us a little bit about the anime project here.
So basically,
what is it?
So I told you what the title was.
Yes.
But I actually don't like that title anymore.
You don't like the title?
I don't.
Anymore.
So it's unnamed project right now.
Okay.
I haven't decided what to call it. But
I may or may not have gotten a sneak peek of like the first 3 chapters.
He may have gotten a little sneak peek. What did you think?
I loved it.
Also, I can't wait.
I love it. I think once it goes into production for the actual anime TV show, there's about 2 characters that Lucas Chase can voice.
Yeah,
I think personality-wise, we're gonna be good to go.
Perfect, man. And that's the thing too. So basically, what it is it's a what? It's a...
The Undertaker's coming out.
Oh, no. He's cashing it.
My God.
He's got a family.
Oh, that's live, baby. That is
live.
That's
mean, should get a new prop guy.
This is crazy. What's happening here?
It's a ghost. Your table was talking earlier.
All right,
that was the thing.
Tell us about the graphic novel.
The graphic novel, the comic, is basically a love story to Spanish culture.
Okay.
I love everything supernatural. I don't believe in ghosts because I've never seen one. But I don't doubt their existence. I just need to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I do, it's weird because I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in aliens. I believe in Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many of those kind of things in Spanish culture that don't get talked about. Like everybody knows about the chupacabra. And
that's like the big one.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So what I did with this story is I basically wrote, heavily influenced by Supernatural, which is a show we both like.
Oh, love it.
So basically, it's a Spanish version of Supernatural centering around 2 young preteen boys.
Okay.
I'm one of the characters, and my best friend and co-writer, German. You know, German is the other character. And basically, what it is
so this is kind of like you're Seth Rogen. And what's his face?
He's Kyle.
It's super bad.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And the story takes place here in Bridgeport. There's landmarks from Bridgeport all over the place, like the church I used to go to as a kid.
This is like historically accurate.
Yeah, this is, I sent my artists like reference pictures like of the church, of the streets that we're on. Like if you live in Bridgeport and you see this comic, you're going to know the places that are in it.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. It's basically the premise is, these 2 little boys, their grandmother mysteriously passes away. But they know something's up. She comes to them in a vision and explains to them that she's been a demon hunter for the last 30 years.
Wow.
And that she's not dead. She's captured by a evil spirit that they have to go after. Boy. Yes. She's in the shadow realm. And they have to monster reborn Abuela. And so along the way they have to go So they have to like basically go on this whole adventure to try and find their grandmother's soul. But along the way, they have to face, I want to say right now there's currently 6 supernatural beings that they have to face before they get to Santa Muerte. I'm using El Cuco.
That's the big bad.
That's the big bad.
That's our villain, our antagonist.
Yes.
Okay.
There's El Cuco. There's La Llorona, the Chupacabra, Sombreron.
God bless you.
And there's 2 more that I haven't decided on yet, but I'm toying with a bunch of different things.
Now, when are we thinking this is going to be launching next year or this year?
Definitely not this year.
Not 2021.
It was supposed to come out for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But I went and I reworked some stuff. I changed some stuff because I really wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm shooting for spring of 2021.
Oh, so springtime. So I love it.
No later than May.
A lot of big things.
Yeah.
A lot of big things.
Yeah.
I love it.
Super excited about that.
That's awesome, man. Well, we can't wait we definitely cannot wait to check it out. I'm chomping at the bit. I mean, you sent me those first 3 chapters and I was just like, to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. I never expected anything bad because I know coming from you and coming from Jermaine, it's going to be awesome. But it far exceeded those expectations. I
appreciate that.
And with that being said, you know what I mean? Is there anything you want to plug upcoming? Any social medias you want to plug?
Yeah.
Anything?
I'm like 90% sure I'm at Midday Manny on everything.
Yeah.
I think I locked those down.
Yeah, especially on that OnlyFans Snapchat.
No, absolutely. Follow my OnlyFans.
That's right.
Exclusive feet pics.
Exclusive feet pics. You ever seen a big Cuban man's feet?
They're delicate, petty all the time.
That's it. Deli petty. Toe rings.
Support local comedy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just go.
Any local comedians you want to shout out right now? Maybe they can come on to the Phoenix Project.
Yeah. No, fuck them all. No, just kidding.
Who's Chris Warren?
No, I love them all. No, yeah. Shout out Chris Warren. He actually got passed at the contest. He's in the finals.
Beautiful.
Shout out to Chris Warren.
Shout out Chris Warren, man.
Shout out Ray Robinson.
Nice.
He didn't get passed, but he's a young comic. He's brand new. I think he's been doing it for maybe a year.
That's awesome.
Keep grinding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check out Unhinged Entertainment.
Okay.
They're putting on great shows. Check out the Elbow Room in West Hartford. Open mic every Wednesday.
Nice.
Pinstripes in Norwalk every Wednesday.
Beautiful.
Run
the gamut on Wednesday nights, man.
Yeah,
I love
run the night. Go do some comedy, live shows all the time. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff, and be put up on there. And I love you, man.
I dig it. Well, I love you, man, and I love the fact that you were the inaugural guest here. Thank you so much for coming on the Phoenix Project Vidcast.
Cherry, baby.
Pop the cherry. Done and done.
So sweet.
We're moving forward now.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, please comment, like, and subscribe. And this episode of the Phoenix Project Vidcast is brought to you by Luna Azura. Be sure to check them out, Luna Azura, on Facebook. The best food in Fairfield County that money can buy. So we'll see you next time, where our guest will be none other than Whole30 rep, personal trainer, Rachel Rivera. I'm Lucas Chase. Thank you, Manny Sierra, for coming on here and chatting with us.
Anytime,
my brother. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. Phoenix Project Vidcast. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Clear minds, clear hearts, sober athletes. Never stop moving.
That little ending. Oh my God.
That was good. And you made it just under 29 minutes.
I know.
Good.